What's up, guys? Brad, Paintball Ruin My Life, and we're going to talk about the PALS loader system. So the PALS loader system from Planet Eclipse, to me, really is another product that Planet Eclipse is making to try to improve that new player experience or that rental player experience. So this is not the only product they have to try to do that. They also have Pro Toys, or I should say products. Pro Toys necessarily isn't a specific product, it's more of a specific product line from Planet Eclipse. And that Pro Toys stuff is all products dedicated or geared toward really field rental. So they have like chest protectors, neck protectors, gloves, coveralls, things like that designed for, rentals. And then now they have this PAL hopper system that's also designed at rentals. So the reason I say new is because Planet Eclipse historically has always been selling those mid-range or high-end guns, where they've had stuff in the $500 price and higher. I think the longest inexpensive gun they had was probably going to be the E-Tech at that $500 price. So adding products to their lineup like the Pro Toys stuff designed for the rentals, the Emek, which is also a rental gun, but also a really good entry-level mechanical gun, and then this Etha 2 that's at that $400 price. Planet Eclipse is definitely going after a market that they never have before. And I think they're really kind of pushing this entry-level stuff hard for three main reasons. I mean, really it's ultimately to sell stuff, but there's three reasons or three ways they're probably going about or looking at this to sell new products. I think the first one being is that not enough people are playing paintball for Planet Eclipse. They've gotten to the point where their mid-range and high-end guns are probably 75% of the sales. So the only way they can increase those sales is likely by increasing the number of people that play paintball. And offering a product like this PALS hopper and the Emek, which are both fantastic, could increase the amount of people playing paintball just because they're getting fun and good products into their hands the first time they play. And then the second one is those people that have used those Planet Eclipse guns their first time playing paintball. They know they work well, right? So they're in their hands and they're like, this Planet Eclipse gun worked really well. So when they go to buy a paintball gun, they know the Eclipse guns worked. So maybe when they go to purchase their first paintball gun, it will be a Planet Eclipse gun. And then third, they just selling stuff, right? They're just selling Emeks, they're selling those PALS hoppers, they're selling Etha 2s. So they're just selling products that they're manufacturing. But I do think that those first two are the most important to Planet Eclipse. Getting more people to play paintball and continuing people to play paintball, or just, people continuing to play, something like that. Just top of mind when they go to purchase their first paintball gun. So with that intro, long-winded thing out of the way, what does the PALS hopper actually do? So in order for this to work, you need an Emek that is PALS ready and that PALS hopper. And every time you shoot this Emek, the gun will fire a paintball and then shuttle a little bit of extra air up through the body and into the feed neck. On the inside of that feed neck, there's a little plunger that moves up and down. That plunger moves up when the gun's shot and then hits another piece on the hopper that moves a tray up. That tray moves up about, we're going to say 5-ish to 6 millimeters, just enough to agitate those paintballs a little bit. The idea is that with a regular 200 round hopper, you have all the paintballs kind of pressing down inside that hopper, and then it makes it hard for the paintballs to get out that hole in the bottom of the thing, into the gun. You get paint kind of hitting each other and clogging, and you gotta jostle it up to get the thing to feed. So with the PALS hopper, that little shelf inside there just moves up enough to agitate those paintballs on the top, free them up, and then allows the thing to feed. So performance-wise for this, I see this, we're going to put this into three different categories, right? So for a player like me, I tend to stand and shoot a bunch, right? I'm just standing there kind of shooting a lot. And in this situation with the PALS hopper, standing and shooting, it works, but not flawlessly, right? I can get about 20 shots off before I got to give it a little bit of a shake to get the thing to start feeding again. Which isn't weird. I mean, with a regular 200 round hopper, you get 5 shots and then you gotta shake it. And then with a hopper like the Proto Primo, you're at 10 or 15. So it's still feeding just standing quite a bit better than all other non-electric hoppers. And then you have the intermediate player who's shooting maybe 10 to 15 shots and then maybe hiding behind something, or maybe shooting some and then moving. They're not as stationary as I am, I guess. So it works better even for them because they're naturally shaking up that paint inside that hopper. And then we've got the rental players that are like shooting 2 shots and moving. So it works perfect for them. So a lot of these rental players, or even you intermediate players who are thinking about this Emek or PALS hopper system, it's going to work fine for you, really. Or it's kind of not going to work so well for me because I stand and shoot so much. So for me and my Emek, yeah, I'll probably still use my Spire 3. So overall, I like the PALS loader system quite a bit. I think that in the hands of rental players, in the hands of new players, it's a great thing because it just feeds more consistent. And definitely on those Emeks, I mean, those guns are just awesome. They just shoot so well. You can watch a review actually of the Emek up there. So like my only quandary or question with the PALS hopper when I first saw the thing was like, the hopper's going to come on a line and it's not going to feed right. To like help keep those aligned though, there is this little nub on the back of the hopper that sits in a little bit of a, like an indention in the feed neck so that it takes a little bit more force to be able to like loosen up or shift that hopper out of placement or out of place. So I was wondering like why Planet Eclipse didn't go the route of actually like physically attaching the hopper to the gun. Their main reason is that they want like the hoppers to be able to be used on any gun and any hopper to be able to use on any of the Emeks that are PALS ready. Like my Emek, like I said, I want to use a Spire 3. So if they like physically attach the hopper, I couldn't do that. But I think mostly for paintball fields, right? They want paintball fields that are using like PALS, Emeks, and Tipmans to be able to use any hopper, right? You take your hopper off a Tipman, you can put it on an Emek. Or, you know, whatever, vice versa. So they don't want it to be like stuck to using just those products. There's also like the Tipman A5 that has that hopper, their Cyclone feed system, like physically attached to the gun. And it's kind of annoying, right? Because you can't use other hoppers. You can't put an electric hopper on that thing. You can't, I don't know, put other hoppers on it. You're kind of stuck with that Cyclone hopper. And then we also see players like falling on those every once in a while and like breaking them off because there's so much leverage. Whereas with like a traditional paintball hopper, a lot of times, if I fall and bang it on something, it'll pop off if you don't have it like super over tightened. So it is going to be like a little bit of like a preventative damage thing, not having it physically attached to. To like help keep those aligned though, there is this little nub on the back of the hopper that sits in a little bit of a, like an indention in the feed neck so that it takes a little bit more force to be able to like loosen up or shift that hopper out of placement or out of place. So I don't know, this wasn't like a review. This was kind of me just like telling you guys what PAL stuff is. I like it. I mean, I'm all for growing this sport and making it bigger. So having products in the hands of brand new players that are good, that work well, that shoot, that are consistent, that are reliable, that are not loud and scary to little kids is a great thing. And I really think that the Emek and the PALS hopper are those things, right? I think that they're very good. I'll never own it, but I think it's fantastic for paintball fields.